Whenever you're ready, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion to start the meeting.
I'll second it.
Say all in favor.
Roll call.
Oh, you'll say all in favor, and then.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then you wanted to roll call?
And roll call for the Arts and History.
Chair Deb Ann Rippey, Vice Chair Dave Lyon, and second Vice Chair Tom Mattis.
Present. On second item, an action item to review and approve the minutes.
These are the August 1st, 2024 meeting minutes.
Recommend approving the August minutes for the Arts and History Council.
You will, in order to, we'll need a second on that motion.
I second the motion.
Okay, and then all in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Third item of business is consideration for approval of artwork by Mary Gardner to review her submittal and artwork. Turn it over to Leah.
Yep, so we got another application that we received to display art at the Arts and History Center. And I'd like to preface this with, at the current moment, at the last meeting we approved Tisha Johnson's artwork for display for the August rotation till November, and in that motion, we also, or in the motion that passed, it was also said that if she agrees to do so, she would show the rest of her artwork starting November through the rest of the year. She agreed to do that, so we have essentially the rest of the year covered with art by Tisha Johnson. So next quarter, we'll be showing Tisha's work as well. And so, considering that, when I received Mary Gardner's application, I figured we can have a head start on next year's rotation for art so we can get that set up already. I put it for this quarter in particular, which is from July 23rd to October 3rd, because with the documents that she submitted, that would be the quarter that would work for her to show her artwork, because she's showing in different places from March to May, so that rules out the first two quarters, and then in October she's showing. But I figured since the rotation goes to the beginning of October, if she needs to, if she's showing her artwork in the middle of that October next year, then it would still work. That quarter would work for her. So that's why I put her in for the third quarter of next year. Seems kind of far away, but it's good to kind of plan these things already rather than, getting an application a month or so before and then trying to get them in. So that's why I have her for this third quarter next year.
I like that proposal as well as scheduling. So that sounds good.
Awesome. And so for her application, she submitted 17 artworks. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. For an exhibit called the Artist Lens, I believe. She would like to call it. In here, I also put a diagram of the center, because I know that was discussed last time because it was kind of hard to get an idea of what the center looked like or the space looked like. So I put in there in the packet a diagram of the center, so we can see what we're working with. And my thoughts are, if the commission agrees, we have the main room, the side room, and the hallway that all have hanging rails. And considering that the space that was initially going to be considered the art gallery is not opened, and we don't have a set date for when that will be completed, we can use the space in a flexible way. So for her 17 works, I was considering, if you all agree, we can show her pieces in the main room and the side room, and the history exhibit can be held in the hallway, sort of the reverse of what is shown in the center at the moment. So all of her 17 pieces would fit in that side room in the main room, and then we can have a history exhibit in the hallway. If you're looking at the diagram, her pieces would fit in those 2 rooms, and then we can still have a history exhibit in the hallway off to the side. So again, we will have art and history exhibits, just formulated in a different way in the space.
Great. Thank you for that. That sounds good, especially after we had that type of a discussion last time. So this fits, and I'm glad to see we're have another submission, right? And this should help them as well. What's your plans on when they bring the artwork in? Just to fit it where we can put it, or what's your thoughts?
So that's what I was working on earlier today, seeing different ways we can fit the pieces. I mean, I tried out different ways of setting the pieces up. I think, again, if Mary agrees, if we choose her, what have you, there's a lot of ways that the piecing can be set up, but I did think of certain layouts that would look best with the flow of the pieces. So I have an idea of where pieces could go, but of course we can, take into consideration anything Mary has to say about that. But what I do know is that they all fit there, and they will fit in that space. Where they're set to be could change, but yeah, I know for sure that they'll fit in those spaces that are allotted for it.
Thank you. I have no questions. I know what I would like to do. Dave, your thoughts? I make a motion that we accept this proposal and request.
Commissioner, if I may, we're looking here for a specific wording. The specific wording we're looking for would be to approve artwork by Mary Gardner for display at the Arts and History Center from a date certain of July 23rd, 2025 until a date certain of October 3rd, 2025. This reduces any kind of overlap so that Leah is quite clear about what day to start and what day to end those art piece displays.
I make a motion we approve the artwork by Mary Gardner for display at the Kuna Arts and History Center from a certain date of July 23rd, 25 until a certain date of October 2025.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, so I'll be emailing her and seeing if she accepts with that, and see if that time frame works for her as well. So I can do that, and we'll move forward with that.
Great. Next line item is reports, and the report for events and schedule updates for the Kuna Arts and History Center. Leah?
Yeah, so just have some updates. I know we talked a little bit briefly about it at the last meeting, but the Art Attack Festival is being held on September 21st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Arts and History Center is taking part in that event. It is held by the Kuna Parks and Rec department, but we are taking part in that we have a booth there, and we'll be having an interactive art activity as well, which is a printmaking activity. So I have purchased essentially rubber blocks. I have 4 set designs that I have carved out. We have paper. There's like plain white options and an option for color using tissue paper. And so the booth essentially will be, whoever comes to the booth will pick their block, print it using an ink pad, which is, cleaner than using actual ink with a roller and a Bayer, I think it's called. So they use the ink pad with the design that I've carved out, and then they'll just print it on their piece of paper, and then they've made essentially a tiny mini art print using printmaking techniques. So that's what the CUNA Arts and History Center booth is. There will also be an information table where I am in the process of finalizing and making pamphlets for the center, posters for advertising the center's art display space for next year, and we'll have the applications and packet there for people to take, and a pamphlet on the current history exhibit at the center as well. So there'll be information for people to take with them, and also that activity for them to do at the Art Attack Festival. Along with, there's going to be vendors at the event, a chalk art activity, food trucks. So there's quite a bit going on. There's another art tent as well, but that's the update for that event. It will not be open at the same time because I'll be essentially running that activity at the festival, so I'll be there. So the center will be closed that day, but we're participating in that event. Yeah.
And where is that event being held?
So it's just right along the green belt, essentially behind City Hall, right here in the lawn space, and that's where the event's being held. Yeah, for those updates, yeah, and now I guess just working on, I'll keep going with advertising the call to artists so we can get the rest of the quarters filled out for next year. But yeah, that's essentially the updates. The call to artists will be ongoing. I'll keep promoting that. We have that event coming up, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is there anything in particular either of you potentially have in mind for the either Arts and History Center curator or the clerk's office to potentially bring forward for the next agenda, or to look into off the top of your heads? I know this might be just a little bit off the tops of your heads, but we can certainly look into something. Or
Yeah, I have no additional agenda items. I don't. Dave? I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:13.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much, Nathan. Leah.